Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bunny Cakes, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel for the first time. Today I am going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. It was originally created by Ellie and Cami. Ellie is from Earl Grey Books, and Cami, I'm not sure what her channel was called. I can't find a working link to it at the moment. But this is basically a book tag where you talk about your favorite and least favorite books so far for the year. Um, so the first one, the first prompt is the best book you've read so far in 2020. So mine are all probably going to have multiple answers because I'm not good at uh singular favorites or hate it's. I do like top 10 lists and top 3. So what I'm thinking of right now is um for as far as fiction, You by Carolyn Kepnes and The Testaments by Margaret Atwood are my two favorite fiction books that I've read. And then I really loved Jensen Chero's You're a Badass. And my other top favorite was You Are Special by Fred Rogers. Yes, the Mr. Rogers. It's actually, I listened to it as an audiobook. It's read by him, and I think it helped me with my road rage in the Walmart one day when I was listening to it. Um, the next one is the best sequel you've read so far in 2020. I actually haven't read much in the way of sequels in 2020. I'm actually looking at my Goodreads. So the one that I would have to go with would be Gwendy's Magic Feather by Richard Chizmar. It was a sequel to Gwendy's Magic Button Box by Stephen King and Richard Chizmar. Um, of the few sequels that I've read this year, that one was definitely my favorite, even if it probably wasn't in my top 10 favorite reads this year. Um, the next one is name a new release you haven't read yet but want to. Let's see, Children of Vice and Virtue, which is on my TBR for this month, if I ever actually start reading this month, is on there. You Should See Me in a Crown is on there, and If It Bleeds by Stephen King is on there. And let's see, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Ooh, there are so many new books coming out. Um, mm, I don't think I can pick a top one for that. There's so many that I'm equally excited for. Yeah, I don't have an answer for that one. There's a lot. Um, let's see, biggest disappointment. That would have to be Dear Dawn. Um, it's a compilation of letters written by Eileen Warnos that she wrote to her best friend Dawn. Um, that one I really, really hoped to get into more, but I ended up DNFing it, which is something I rarely, rarely do. I've actually done that with 2 books. One because I wasn't feeling it because I wasn't in the mood for Frankenstein, but Dear Dawn was the other one. I couldn't get into it. And like, as much as I would love to get into the mind of Eileen Warnos, I just couldn't keep up with it. Maybe another time I'll get into it, but that one was my biggest disappointment. The biggest surprise would be The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I didn't think I would like that book, and it's so far one of my favorite books that I've read this year. Let's see, new favorite author. Let's see, Riley Sager's up there, though I kind of started reading him last year too, so I don't know if that counts. And let's see, Richard Chizmar is a new one that I've started reading that I really like. Um, and Margaret Atwood would be up there too. Because especially Margaret Atwood, I had never read any of her work before this year, so she would probably be the top, followed by Richard Chizmar because I've been reading more of his stuff, and then Riley Sager. Um, let's see. Newest fictional crush. I read a lot of stuff that it doesn't really lend itself to crushing. Cuz I read a lot of horror and thriller and stuff like that. So it doesn't really track very well. Um so yeah, I don't really have a fictional crush right now. Um and let's see, newest favorite character. Um hmm. I would have to say um I really like the story of Offred in the Testaments, but I'm going to actually give the throne to Gothel from Mother Knows Best because she has become a villain whose backstory just speaks to me so much. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to say Gothel from Mother Knows Best. Um, let's see. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. Um, I don't have one for that. I have books that made me angry. I have books that made me happy. Um, I mean, the closest I would say would be You Are Special because there were some parts that were really sweet and endearing. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm looking at Goodreads again. Um, If You Tell, A True Story of Murder, Family Secrets, and the Unbreakable Bond of Sisterhood. If one book made me closest to crying, it would be that one because there were parts of that that spoke very deeply to me emotionally. Um, a book that made me happy would definitely be You Are Special by Fred Rogers and You Are a Badass by Jensen Chero. Both of those made me feel really good and happy and stuff while I was listening to them. Let's see. Number 12, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. Um, I always think that books that are gifted to me out of kindness are extra beautiful, but aesthetically speaking, I would say Children of Vice and Virtue is the most beautiful cover that I have on my shelf right now. Both the dust jacket and the actual physical cover of the book are really beautiful. So definitely that one. Books that you what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So by the end of the year, bleh, I can't speak words. Um, all of them. But there are some books that I do primarily want to focus on. I want to finish reading White Rage and White Fragility for the Blackout Buddy read, even though I'm probably in no way getting anywhere near finishing either of those by the 19th. I want to read The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. Earlier I kept saying The Testaments. What I meant was The Handmaid's Tale when I mentioned that earlier. So you're going to be real confused about it if you until the end of the video. I'm sorry. I'm not refilming. So I want to read The Testaments and I want to read the sequel to You, which I can't think of the name of at the moment. And I really want to get started back on reading the Shannara series by Terry Brooks. Those are in my goals. And for looser goals, I want to start reading more diverse authors, like people from other ethnicities and people from different backgrounds, like different sexualities, different physical ability, and that sort of thing. And yeah, I want to expand my reading horizons. That's what the point of all this is. Um, so all that's left is the tagging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag Ravenbell Books, the Book Nerdy, Joe's Book Review, Joe's Review Journal, and Witch Kitten Reads. I will link all 4 of them down below and make them aware that I've tagged them before I post this later. Um, that's all I have, and thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.